If I could sit down with my younger self, maybe at 50, 60, or even 65, I would have so much to say. Life has a way of teaching us lessons, not through warnings, but through experience. The road is filled with successes and failures, joys and regrets. But what if you could learn these lessons now instead of decades later? How much heartache could be avoided? How many missed opportunities could be reclaimed? I would tell my younger self to slow down, to savor the moments that seem insignificant, because in the end, they are the ones that truly matter. I would remind them that chasing perfection is a losing battle, and that real happiness comes not from achieving more, but from appreciating what already is. I would encourage them to nurture relationships, to let go of grudges faster, and to be present with the people they love. Today, I want to share the most profound realizations I've had over the years. These insights, gathered over a lifetime, can help you live a more fulfilled and meaningful life, starting today. You don't have to wait until old age to gain wisdom. Let's embrace it now. So sit back, take a deep breath, and let's dive into the lessons that took me a lifetime to learn, but I'll share them with you in just minutes. Lesson 1, happiness isn't a destination, it's a way of life. For most of my life, I believed happiness was something I had to earn. It was always waiting in the future, the next promotion, the next big milestone, the next stage of life. But the truth? Happiness was never in the future. It was here all along. I remember an old friend in his late 80s telling me, when I was younger, I thought happiness was something I had to chase. But the older I got, the more I realized I was stepping over it every single day. That stuck with me. Happiness isn't found in wealth, status, or achievements. It's in the ordinary moments. The warmth of a loved one's hug, the laughter shared over a meal, the sunlight streaming through the window as you sip your morning coffee. If you're always chasing happiness, you'll never arrive. But if you stop, if you truly pause, you'll see that joy has been waiting for you all along. I once met a man who spent his whole life working toward retirement. He sacrificed time with his family, hobbies, and personal passions, believing that when he finally retired, he would be free to enjoy life. When he reached that moment, he was diagnosed with a severe illness, and his time was cut short. He told me with tears in his eyes, "I kept waiting for life to begin. But it was happening all along, and I missed it." Don't make the same mistake. Happiness isn't something you find someday, it's something you create today. Psychologists have long studied the nature of happiness, and research consistently shows that external achievements contribute only a small fraction to our overall well-being. According to a study by Dr. Sonia Lyubomirsky, only 10% of our happiness comes from circumstances like wealth and status, while 40% comes from intentional activities and choices we make every day. What does this mean? It means that no matter where you are in life, you have the power to cultivate happiness in your daily existence. It means happiness isn't about waiting for a perfect future. It's about making today meaningful. The myth of "I'll be happy when." We often fall into the trap of thinking, "I'll be happy when I get that job. I'll be happy when I find the right partner. I'll be happy when I move to a bigger house." But the problem with this mindset is that happiness keeps moving further away. As soon as we reach one goal, another appears. The finish line keeps shifting, and we never feel truly satisfied. Instead, what if we shifted our perspective? What if we asked ourselves, how can I be happy now? One of the simplest and most powerful ways to cultivate happiness is through gratitude. Studies have shown that people who keep gratitude journals and regularly reflect on what they're thankful for experience higher levels of happiness and lower levels of stress and depression. Try this. Every morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be grand. Even small moments, a good conversation, a delicious meal, a comfortable bed, can bring immense joy when we acknowledge them. Many spiritual traditions emphasize the importance of mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in the moment. When we dwell on the past, we often feel regret. When we worry about the future, we feel anxiety. But when we live in the present, we experience peace. Some ways to cultivate mindfulness. Take a deep breath and notice your surroundings. Savor your meals instead of rushing through them. Listen deeply when someone is speaking to you. Spend time in nature and appreciate its beauty. Society often equates success with wealth, status, and accomplishments. But what if success was defined by how much joy you experience each day? Think about it. The richest person in the world isn't truly successful if they're miserable. The busiest executive isn't successful if they never have time to enjoy life. The person with the most achievements isn't successful if they feel empty inside. Real success is living a life filled with moments of meaning, love, and laughter. A famous Harvard study that spanned over 80 years found that the key to a happy life isn't money or fame, it's good relationships. People who nurture strong connections with family, friends, and community tend to be healthier and happier. How to build meaningful relationships. Spend quality time with loved ones. Express appreciation and gratitude. Be fully present when engaging with others. Practice forgiveness and let go of grudges. Small acts that bring happiness. Happiness isn't about grand gestures. It's found in the little things. Watching the sunset, laughing with friends, helping a stranger, reading a good book, dancing in your living room. By appreciating these small moments, we realize that happiness isn't something far away. It's right here, right now. Imagine if today were your last day. Would you spend it worrying about the future? Or would you soak in every moment, appreciating the love, beauty, and joy around you? The truth is, we don't know how much time we have. So let's stop postponing happiness. Let's stop waiting for life to begin. Let's live fully, love deeply, and find joy in the journey. Because happiness isn't a destination. It's the way we walk the path. Lesson 2, health is the greatest wealth. When we're young, we often believe we are invincible. We stay up late, consume unhealthy foods, neglect exercise, and assume that we will always have time to fix our health later. We live in a world that rewards immediate gratification, and health often takes a backseat to work, entertainment, or social obligations. However, time moves faster than we realize. One day, you wake up and realize that every decision you've ever made regarding your health has left its imprint on your body. The truth is, health is not something we can postpone. Unlike financial wealth, which can be rebuilt after losses, or material possessions which can be replaced, our bodies do not offer us unlimited do-overs. The wear and tear accumulate, and reversing years of neglect is far more difficult than preventing damage in the first place. Many people equate health with physical appearance, believing that being thin or muscular automatically means they are healthy. But true health is much deeper than aesthetics. It's about how you feel every day, your energy levels, your ability to move freely, your mental clarity, and even your emotional well-being. It's about waking up refreshed, not exhausted. It's about enjoying a walk without pain, bending down to play with your grandchildren without discomfort, and climbing stairs without gasping for breath. Health is freedom. The freedom to do what you love without being hindered by physical limitations. It is the ability to travel without worrying about mobility issues, the confidence that your body will support your dreams, and the assurance that you can engage fully in life's moments without being burdened by chronic pain or illness. I once knew a woman in her 80s who walked every single day, rain or shine. She wasn't obsessed with fitness. She never counted steps or tracked calories. She simply understood that movement was life. If I stop moving, she told me, I'll never start again. She had watched many of her friends lose their mobility, not because they had to, but because they let it slip away. They stopped being active, assuming they could always start again later. But the body doesn't work that way. Once we stop moving, it becomes harder and harder to start again. Muscles weaken, joints stiffen, and soon, even basic movements become painful. Her story is a reminder that health is not about perfection. It is not about extreme diets or punishing workouts. It is about consistency. Small daily habits like taking a walk, stretching, or choosing nutritious foods add up over time. The body is incredibly resilient, but it requires maintenance. We often think of wealth in terms of money, but what good is financial success if poor health prevents us from enjoying it? Many people work tirelessly to build their careers and accumulate wealth, only to find that their bodies betray them when they finally have time to enjoy retirement. Medical expenses, doctor visits, and hospital stays can drain savings faster than any poor financial decision. Beyond financial costs, there are emotional and social costs as well. Chronic illness and pain can lead to depression, anxiety, and isolation. Relationships suffer when a person is constantly fatigued or in pain. Opportunities to make memories with loved ones are lost. The ability to travel, try new experiences, or even perform basic tasks independently can be severely limited. The good news is that many health issues are preventable. The choices we make today, what we eat, how much we move, how we manage stress, determine the quality of our lives in the years to come. Preventative health is one of the most undervalued investments. Instead of waiting for problems to arise and then seeking treatment, we should focus on maintaining good health proactively. Here are some fundamental ways to prioritize health. 1. Nutrition, fueling the body wisely. Food is more than just sustenance, it is information for our cells. The quality of the food we consume affects our energy levels, immune system, and even our mental health. A diet rich in whole foods, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, and whole grains supports optimal function. Conversely, processed foods, excess sugar, and unhealthy fats contribute to inflammation and disease. The key is balance. Eating healthily does not mean never enjoying treats, but it does mean making mindful choices. Consistency matters more than perfection. 2. Movement. The key to longevity. Our bodies are designed for movement. Regular physical activity strengthens the heart, improves circulation, boosts mood, and maintains mobility. This doesn't mean spending hours in a gym. It can be as simple as daily walks, stretching, yoga, or dancing. The goal is to keep the body active and engaged. Strength training, even in small amounts, helps preserve muscle mass and bone density, both of which decline with age. Flexibility and balance exercises reduce the risk of falls, a major concern as we grow older. 3. Sleep, the foundation of health. Sleep is often overlooked, yet it is essential for healing and recovery. Poor sleep has been linked to obesity, heart disease, weakened immunity, and cognitive decline. Prioritizing good sleep hygiene, such as maintaining a consistent sleep schedule, creating a restful environment, and limiting screen time before bed, can significantly improve overall health. 4. Mental and emotional well-being. Stress is one of the most significant contributors to poor health. Chronic stress weakens the immune system, increases inflammation, and negatively impacts heart health. Practices such as meditation, mindfulness, deep breathing, and spending time in nature help manage stress effectively. Social connections also play a crucial role in well-being. Strong relationships provide emotional support and have been shown to improve longevity and quality of life. 5. Regular health checkups. Prevention includes regular medical checkups, screenings, and listening to the body's signals. Many illnesses, if detected early, can be managed or even reversed. Ignoring symptoms or avoiding doctor visits out of fear only allows potential health issues to worsen. One of the most profound shifts we can make is to stop viewing health as a short-term goal and start seeing it as a lifelong commitment. Just as financial investments grow over time, so do health investments. The choices we make daily compound, either leading us toward vitality or toward decline. Many people wait for a wake-up call, a health scare, a diagnosis, or a major life event to prioritize their well-being. But why wait? Why not start making changes today? Your body is the only home you will ever truly live in. Unlike a house or a car, you cannot trade it in for a newer model. You cannot replace it when it breaks down. The good news is that with proper care, the human body is incredibly adaptable and resilient. Invest in your health today, and you will reap the benefits for years to come. Because in the end, health is not just an asset, it is the foundation upon which all other aspects of life rest. No amount of money, success, or possessions can replace the feeling of being truly well. Prioritize your health, and you will discover that it truly is the greatest wealth. Lesson 3, relationships matter more than anything else. If I could relive my life, I wouldn't ask for more money, success, or possessions. I would ask for more time with the people I love. Because in the end, the only thing that truly matters is the love we give and receive. I've sat beside friends in their final days, holding their hands, listening to their last reflections. Not once did they say, "I wish I had worked more." Instead, they said, "I wish I had spent more time with my family. I wish I had told my friends how much I loved them. I wish I had let go of anger sooner." From a young age, we are conditioned to chase success. Society tells us that if we work hard enough, earn enough money, and achieve enough recognition, we will be happy. But what happens when we reach those milestones and realize they don't bring the fulfillment we expected? Many people climb the ladder of success only to find that it was leaning against the wrong wall. A successful career, a luxurious house, or an impressive bank account may provide comfort, but they cannot replace the warmth of human connection. At the end of the day, it is not our possessions, but our relationships that define the quality of our lives. A man I knew worked tirelessly to provide for his family, believing that financial security was the best gift he could give them. He took pride in his work ethic, often sacrificing weekends, holidays, and family gatherings in the pursuit of wealth. Decades passed, and he accumulated everything he had ever dreamed of, except the closeness of his loved ones. His children had grown distant, his marriage had lost its warmth, and he found himself alone in a grand house filled with things but void of love. One day he confessed to me, "I built a fortune, but I lost what mattered most. I thought I was giving my family everything, but what they needed was me." Hospice nurses often hear the same regrets from those at the end of their lives. People do not regret missed deadlines, failed investments, or unachieved goals. They regret the time not spent with their children, the words of love left unspoken, the friendships they let fade away. They wish they had been more present, more forgiving, and more expressive with their emotions. Time moves faster than we think, and one day, all we will have left are the memories of how we made people feel. Strong relationships are not built through grand gestures, but through small, everyday moments. A heartfelt conversation over coffee, a handwritten note, a simple "how are you?" can strengthen bonds more than we realize. Love is expressed in the little things: a listening ear, a reassuring hug, or a shared laugh. Imagine if we treated every interaction as if it could be the last. Would we be kinder, more patient, more present? The truth is, none of us know how much time we have left with the people we love, so we must cherish them now. In a world that glorifies busyness, we must make a conscious effort to prioritize relationships. Here are some practical ways to do so. Schedule quality time. Just as we plan for work meetings and errands, we should schedule time with our loved ones. Whether it's a weekly phone call, a monthly dinner, or a simple check-in text, consistency matters. Express love more often. Don't assume people know how you feel about them. Say, "I love you, I appreciate you, and I'm grateful for you" regularly. Listen with full attention. In a world full of distractions, giving someone your full presence is a rare and valuable gift. Put away your phone, maintain eye contact, and truly listen when someone speaks. Let go of grudges. Holding on to resentment only creates distance. If a relationship is meaningful to you, choose forgiveness over pride. Be there during difficult times. True relationships are tested not in moments of celebration, but in times of struggle. Show up for your loved ones when they need you most. At the end of our lives, we will not be remembered for our job titles, possessions, or social status. We will be remembered for the kindness we showed, the love we shared, and the connections we nurtured. The true measure of a life well lived is the depth of our relationship. So don't wait. Call your loved ones. Forgive. Say, "I love you" more often. Choose presence over distractions, because when everything else fades, the only thing that remains is love. Lesson 4. The fear of aging is worse than aging itself. I used to fear aging, the wrinkles, the grey hair, the slowing pace, but now I see aging as a privilege. Aging is not about fading, it's about deepening. It's about seeing life through wiser eyes. It's about shedding insecurities and finally living with clarity. Society often portrays aging as something to be feared, a decline from youth's vitality to frailty and irrelevance. The anti-aging industry thrives on this fear, selling creams, surgeries, and treatments, promising to delay the inevitable. We glorify youth as the peak of life, equating beauty with worth and physical ability with value. But what if we shifted our perspective? Aging should not be seen as a loss, but as a transition, one that brings new opportunities, wisdom, and a different kind of beauty. Instead of resisting aging, we should embrace its gifts. I've met people in their 80s and 90s who are more alive than some in their 30s, not because they're untouched by age, but because they embrace it. They live with a sense of purpose, finding joy in learning, creating, and connecting. They understand that life is not just about youth, but about growth, depth, and resilience. A friend of mine took up painting at 78. Another started writing poetry at 85. A woman I know travelled solo for the first time in her 70s. None of them let their age define their possibilities. Age does not take away our ability to live fully. Our fear of aging does. When we focus on what we can no longer do, we miss out on what we still can. A 70-year-old may not run as fast as they did at 20, but they can share wisdom, appreciate life with more depth, and pursue passions with a patience that youth often lacks. Many people start worrying about aging decades before it significantly affects them. This anxiety can rob them of their present joy. They see birthdays as a countdown instead of a celebration. The truth is, aging is happening every second from the moment we are born. Why fear something so natural? The more we resist aging, the more we suffer. The stress of trying to stay young often causes more harm than the aging process itself. Stress accelerates aging, while acceptance allows for a graceful and fulfilling transition through life's stages. In some cultures, aging is revered. In Japan, older individuals are celebrated for their wisdom and experience. In Native American traditions, elders are seen as keepers of knowledge. In contrast, many Western societies push older adults to the margins, reinforcing the fear of aging. If we adopted a more positive cultural perspective, we might stop fearing aging and start respecting it as a valuable phase of life. How to overcome the fear of aging? 1. Change your mindset. Instead of seeing aging as a loss, view it as an evolution. Every stage of life has its own beauty and opportunities. 2. Stay curious. Keep learning new things. Take up a new hobby, read about different subjects, or travel to new places. Curiosity keeps the mind young. 3. Connect with all ages. Spend time with younger and older people. It helps break stereotypes and provides a more balanced view of life. 4. Focus on health, not youth. Take care of your body and mind, not to look young, but to feel good and function well. 5. Accept change. Fighting change only creates stress. Embracing change brings peace and allows you to move through life with grace. Aging doesn't mean stopping, it means evolving. Life is not a downward slope after a certain age. It's a continuous path of discovery and growth. The people who continue to dream, learn, and pursue their passions are the ones who stay young at heart, regardless of their age. You don't stop dreaming because you grow old. You grow old because you stop dreaming. Lesson 5. The best time to try something new is right now. There's a lie we've all been told, that after a certain age, life is about maintenance, not discovery. But that's simply not true. Every day brings a fresh opportunity to explore, grow, and redefine who we are. I've met people who started new hobbies, fell in love, or pursued their dreams well into their 70s, 80s, and even 90s. Time will pass no matter what. You can spend it regretting what you didn't do, or you can use it to create new experiences. A man once told me, "I always wanted to play the piano, but I'm too old now." I asked him, "How old will you be if you don't learn?" Time will pass anyway. The question is, how do you want to spend it? This conversation stuck with me. It's easy to believe that certain opportunities are only available to the young. Society often reinforces this idea, subtly or sometimes blatantly, suggesting that after a certain age we should settle into routines, focus on stability, and let go of ambitions that weren't realized earlier. But if we stop and examine that belief, we see how limiting it truly is. The most remarkable lives are those where curiosity never fades, where the pursuit of passion is lifelong, and where fear of failure is outweighed by the joy of learning something new. We all have our reasons for hesitating to try new things. Fear of failure, lack of confidence, time constraints, or even societal expectations can hold us back. But let's reframe these concerns. Fear of failure. What if failure is just another form of progress? Every great musician, writer, entrepreneur, or athlete started as a beginner. Failure isn't an end, it's a step in the process. Lack of confidence. No one starts off as an expert. Confidence grows through action, not before it. Time constraints. We often think we don't have time, but in reality we allocate time based on our priorities. If something matters to you, you can make time for it. So, societal expectations, what society expects of you, should never define your personal fulfillment. Many successful people ignored conventional wisdom and pursued their passions despite what others thought. Inspiring examples of late bloomers. History is filled with people who found success later in life. Grandma Moses, Anna Mary Robertson Moses, started painting in her 70s and became a renowned artist. Harlan Sanders founded Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, in his 60s after failing at multiple careers. Laura Ingalls Wilder didn't publish her first book until she was 65. Colonel Sanders failed in many businesses before creating his famous fried chicken recipe. Fauja Singh started running marathons at age 89 and became the world's oldest marathon runner. Vera Wang entered the fashion industry at 40 and built an empire. If these individuals had believed they were too old to start, the world would have missed out on their incredible contributions. Studies have shown that engaging in new activities, especially those that challenge the brain, can have significant benefits. Improved cognitive function. Learning new skills strengthens neural connections and improves memory. Increased longevity. People who remain engaged in mentally stimulating activities tend to live longer, healthier lives. Greater happiness. Pursuing hobbies and passions leads to increased fulfillment and emotional well-being. Enhanced social connections. Trying new things often introduces us to new communities and friendships. The brain is incredibly adaptable even as we age. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections, means we can continue learning throughout our lives. If you're inspired to take action, here are a few steps to get started. Identify your interest. What have you always wanted to do? Play an instrument, write a book, learn a new language, travel to a new place? Start small. Begin with just 10 to 15 minutes a day. Small efforts lead to big results over time. Embrace being a beginner. Accept that you won't be perfect at first. Enjoy the process of learning rather than focusing only on results. Find a community. Join a class, a club, or an online group. Support from others can keep you motivated. Celebrate progress. Every step forward is a victory. Keep track of your progress and acknowledge how far you've come. Overcome setbacks. Expect challenges, but don't let them stop you. Perseverance is key. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. What if you started today? What could you achieve? How much joy and fulfillment could you bring into your life by simply taking that first step? Every expert was once a beginner. Every success story starts with a single decision. The best time to try something new isn't next year, next month, or even tomorrow. It's right now. So what will you start today? At the end of life, we won't measure our worth by our achievements or possessions. We will measure it by the love we gave, the kindness we showed, and the moments we cherished, the laughter we shared with loved ones, the times we chose compassion over judgment, and the simple joys we embraced. These will be our true legacy. So don't wait. Life is not something to be postponed for the right time or the perfect moment. The right time is now. Be present in each day, appreciating the small wonders around you. Prioritize self-care, not just for your body, but for your mind and soul. Your well-being is the foundation for everything else in life. Nurture your relationships, for they are the heart of a meaningful life. Make time for family and friends. Express your love openly, and forgive often. Connections with others bring warmth, purpose, and joy, even as we grow older. Aging is not something to fear. It's a journey filled with wisdom, growth, and new opportunities. Embrace it. Try new things, explore fresh perspectives, and challenge yourself to keep learning. And above all, choose happiness now. Happiness isn't a destination. It's a daily decision. It's found in gratitude, in kindness, in living with purpose. It's in letting go of regrets, releasing what you cannot control, and focusing on what truly matters. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned that you'll apply in your own life? Leave a comment below, like this video, and subscribe to Golden Years Balance for more wisdom on health, happiness, and aging well. Let's walk this journey together, living fully, loving deeply, and making the most of every moment.